right, so last week was absolutely wild. If you caught the Amazon breakout or the Shopify breakout or the Apple breakout, there was some that didn't pop up from the watch list, but things were ridiculously moving last week, and we caught a lot of those. Um, Apple was a huge payer. Same with Amazon and Shopify if you caught those. So this week I'm just going to dive right into it. I want to look at coin real quick because the cryptocurrency market seems pretty flat, but I'm really looking at this coin price. It looks like their earnings are coming up and they've already just started to break out at this bottom from 232 to 253. So I'm looking for this $261 break. As soon as it breaks at 261, I bet you can see it takes 266 or even a 276. So this breakout line right here at 261 will be a huge line or a resistance line to break through. So that's on watch this week. I also got SI on watch list just for the crypto market. This is more of like a bonus one, but it could push. It started to form a hammer candle here, and it's starting to push up to this 107 price. But this could really start breaking out above this support line at 107.50, and the next one is at 109. And then I really want to see it test this 114 to maybe break out on 115. So keep SI on watch as well. That follows the cryptocurrency market. So coin and SI, if they move, they'll move together. I'm also looking at Square. Square has earnings coming up at the early part of August. So it had a nice hammer candle. Things got sold off randomly last week. There wasn't really good news. So we bought all these dips and they ended up paying us really well. But basically it's up at 241. There's a nice resistance line at this 244.50 mark. And once it breaks that, we could see this 250 again. And if it breaks above this 255 price, if you zoom out, it looks like it's headed right back to this 261 all the way to 278. So big believer in Square. Earnings report looks like it's going to be great this year or this quarter. And their website traffic is up almost, I think it's like 10% this month. So they're catching on with a lot of new things coming out with their earnings reports, and things are opening back up. A lot of people use their POS system. So a lot of exciting things are Square. So just look out for this week of this 244.50 price and 250. A lot of people are starting to buy a lot of things heading into the earnings season. So another one I want to look at is Apple. Apple made its all-time high, and it kind of got rejected, but not really. So that's interesting to me. I want to see if this can continue upward. They have a lot of this is a nice inverse head and shoulders on the daily chart. So I'm expecting this, even though it's at its all-time highs, to continue ripping upwards. So let's see if we can get 150 this week. Could go parabolic and hit 150. So just watch how this opens up tomorrow, and if it hits 150, that's going to be a big payday because these premiums are really, really, really cheap. So I also want to put on SE on this one. So there's a nice reversal here. SE does this a lot. It has a nice like $30 to $40 dip, and then it reverses and heads higher. So you can see that happening a lot here, a lot of dips, and it starts ripping higher, a lot of dips, ripping higher. So hopefully this is the one where it turns around, and they also have earnings in August. So above this 279 price, 280 price, I can see this head right back to 287. Then hopefully finally we can get the $300 break on SE. Been trading this one for a while, but really want to see this one hit the $300 mark. It also has an inverse head and shoulders. Now it's kind of forming a little bit of a cup and handle portion here, kind of, but this reversal here should see $300 next time it breaks above this 280 to 287, 288, and then the sky's the limit after that. So we got Square, we got SE, we got Apple, SI, Coin. There's going to be Chewy as an honorable mention right now, has a nice hammer candle here and breaking out. It finally could start reversing out of this big downtrend from 120. So I'm really looking for this to test this $88 mark, and 88 breakthrough will push right to 92. So that's a big on the watch list. And then for one more small honorable mention, this is a really cheap stock. This is Jamia. It's the African Amazon. And they have a nice falling wedge pattern here in a really deep downtrend. So I'm looking at a nice little reversal here. This has a nice hammer candle. So anything above this $27 mark, hopefully can start pushing towards that. $27, could see $27.50 and $28. So it could form a falling wedge pattern and really start to test some of these like $30 marks again. And when this one moves, it moves really well. So put Jamia on your watch list, and that kind of caps it off for the week. We got Jamia, just for like a quick little glance at, just make sure you'll catch that if it moves anywhere. I also got Apple, SE, SI, Coin, and Square. Don't forget about Chewy as well, and Space. We'll just do one more quick analysis on Space. Won't really put this one high on the watch list, but it is forming a huge cup and handle here from 14 all the way to 49.20. Had a very successful flight. Looks like it could start reversing and break this 58 mark. Above 58, it'll hit 62 and head higher most likely, but it could be a sell the news event because it was successful, but it looks like it ran all the way up from 14 all the way to 57, closed at 50 on Friday. So could be a great thing to watch, but personally probably won't be taking this much because it is part of the meme stock. So your contract premiums are going to be really high with the implied volatility around 200, 300%. So keep this one on watch. That could be interesting to watch, but those main ones that I called out before, we got the SI, Coin, Square, SE, Apple, and Chewy. So we'll follow up next week on how we do. And click the link at the bottom of the description if you want to subscribe to the channel and catch these at a real-time rate.